the main drive down to the gates at Windsor. You can see the floral tributes just there at the forefront, and we are expecting, and there we are in fact, the new Prince and Princess of Wales, who are expected in the next few minutes to come out of the gates and meet members of the public who are gathered. Thousands of people, in fact, who've come to Windsor today. And our correspondent was making the point earlier that the flowers that have been laid at the gate have been transferred each night into the castle. So that bank of floral tributes that you will see in and around the railings, that is what has been laid just today. The other important point, I'm just seeing, now I can see him, is that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are there with the Prince and Princess of Wales. There were some questions, of course, as whether they would be here over the course of next week. That is confirmation for you that Harry and his wife are here alongside the Prince and Princess of Wales, and Meghan hand in hand with Harry walking through the gates as well. Let's go to Rihanna, who is with the crowds there as the Walesers come through the gates to look at the flowers. Well, that is something, Rihanna, because of course over the last year there's been speculation about the relationship between the two brothers, and all that set aside this evening as they come out to meet the public.
Yes, what a powerful symbol of unity at what has to be such a difficult time for the family. I mean, there was a huge sombre cheer as the gates opened, and thousands of people have been here all day gathering to leave their respects, pay their respects to the Queen, but also we've been expecting this visit for some time now, and there they are, as we can see. Prince William, now the Prince of Wales, and his wife Kate, who's making her first public appearance as a Princess of Wales, along with Harry and Meghan, looking at the tributes, looking at the flowers, looking at the balloons and the cards that have been left in memory of their grandmother. And of course we're reminded of the statement that Prince William released shortly, not too long ago, describing his grandmother, the late Queen, as not just an extraordinary leader, but as his granny. You know, talking about how she had been with him through some of his saddest but also happiest moments of his life. And I think anyone who's lost a grandparent can imagine how that feels. And this right now, what we're seeing, is a reminder that while some families can grieve behind closed doors, their family cannot. And this will no doubt have taken a lot of strength to come out here today, looking at the thousands and thousands of people and looking at these displays, knowing it's all in memory of somebody who they held so close and so dear to them.
Yes, and of course, as you say, the Prince of Wales making the point in the statement that he released in the last half an hour that he's had the benefit of the Queen's wisdom and reassurance into his fifth decade, now 40 years of age. My wife also, he said, has had 20 years of her guidance and support. And my three children, still very young, of course, George 9, Charlotte 7, Louis 4, they have got to spend their holidays with her and create memories of the Queen that I'm sure he says they will carry their whole lives. Just to talk about the Sussexes as well, who are there in the forefront of our picture, Rihanna. We know how close, despite the difficulties they've had in the last year or so, how close Harry was to his granny, and he made that point a lot. And he flew in from Europe on Thursday to be there as quickly as he could.
Certainly, and I think we all saw those images as he arrived at the airport, just slightly behind everyone else due to logistical reasons. And I don't think anyone expected to necessarily see them here today, especially not alongside Prince William, the Prince of Wales. Yeah, there they are. Alongside the Princess of Wales, as I said, making her first public appearance since she received the title yesterday evening. But yeah, no, certainly this is going to be a difficult time for all of the family, and this is such a strong sign of unity. And of course we saw that yesterday as well with Prince Charles as he made his first speech as king, paying love to all of his children, to both of his children, and to all of the family at large. So Yes, this is definitely unexpected scene, but one that is being warmly welcomed by all of the crowds who are, to be honest, in stunned silence to be witnessing such a public display of mourning at such a monumentous time in history.
Yeah, and you see the emotion there as Meghan just stroked the back of Harry as they were looking at some of those tributes. Let me just be quiet for a moment, because you see the banks of crowds there at the railings, but just listen to the hush, the quiet respect that there is.
Reflect that as well for some also wish the new king well. I should also point out here, Frederick, that if you had any doubt just how important, just how central monarchy is to this country, this is a pretty good indication, because this was not an announced or advertised event that you're seeing here. In fact, they had
Worth saying, of course, that the town very much part of the royal family's grief, because the castle is so close to the town, and the royal family very much part of it as they walk over to greet some of the well-wishers who are there. The Prince and Princess of Wales recently moved into the Windsor area. In fact, Wednesday was a happy day as the two of them took their children to their new school. And then, of course, it changed so dramatically on Thursday with news of the Queen's condition. Such an extraordinary shot there of the crowds on either side of the drive. You can see about 7 or 8 deep. See if we can listen in.